good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Infineon Raceway as we get ready for race number 10 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series. Today we are getting ready for the running of the Steam 250 here, a 17-lap event which is sure to be exciting here at Infineon, our second road course stop here on this schedule. How ironic that this is a 17-lap event, and on the pole for today's race is the driver of the 17, Dylan Poteet, our winner back from Phoenix. He's going to line up on what I believe is his first pole of the season in the Caterpillar Chevrolet out of Tweenix Racing. Poteet comes into this race currently sitting 22nd in the points. He had a really good runs at the beginning of the season, but for the past 3 or 4 weeks, things have just not been going the way of that 17 car. He's trying to look to bounce back here today. Alongside of him, a driver who's trying to reestablish himself after making his return back to the Mobil1 Cup Series a couple of weeks ago at Thornton. That was 5 races ago, I believe, is George Roque. He comes in 43rd in the points, obviously because he's only raced half the races so far this season, but he's got himself a nice qualifying position starting on the outside of the front row. Carson Gumm's going to line up on the inside of row number 2. Now, Carson Gumm has actually qualified up inside the top 15 for pretty much the past 3 or 4 weeks. He's just not been able to follow it up with good finishes. Carson comes into this race 21st in the standings, and I believe he comes in 6th in rookie points. So Carson Gumm looking to use Infineon maybe to be the place he can catapult himself up through the points, maybe actually finish in a position close to where he started. And then rounding out row number 2, that's going to be Jake Rogers, who's been able to move himself up to 18th in points in his single-car Dodge team, running the Mountain Dew colors this week. And I tell you what, it's definitely a far cry from what happened last year in his Mobil1 Cup Series season. Last year, he had a tough time even getting inside the top 20 or even the top 30, did Jake Rogers. He's having a much better season here in that 19 in Season 6. And rounding out the field, or I should say the field. That was good, Seth. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be Richard Johnson. Richard Johnson's another driver who started off the season really, really well, and just now in the past few weeks, things have just not gone his way. He comes in 28th in the point standings right now, a former winner this season, and Richard Johnson looking to bounce back here today at Infineon. Here's the way the points look coming into today's race. They're actually quite close, too. Sean Galligan is our current points leader, our winner from Daytona and defending champ, by 10 points over rookie points leader Sky Commons. Then it's a total of 13 points back to Dylan Young, 21 points back to Charles Samfer, and then 24 points back to Ralph Mason. The rest of the top 10 in points of drivers we'll be keeping an eye on during the course of the day are Mason Wood, Emilio Navarrete, James Silverfox, Carson Beightol, and Bob Jones. So let's get these cars rolling off. It's about time to see what these guys are going to do here. We had most of our race in the Truck Series event run under the caution flag. We'll have to see if these drivers learned something. They'll be able to maybe put together some green flag runs, and if so, its strategy come into play. All those questions are going to be answered very shortly as we start with today's Steam 250 Infineon Raceway. Getting ready to go to green flag racing. Dylan Poteet, George Roque, that's the front row. And while these drivers are currently working their way through the S's, I'll take the opportunity here to say we are at race number 10. We are at the 5 race mark. And it's getting to the point now when we gotta, move out the non-commenters and move in other drivers into those rides of those who did not comment. Please look below in the description. If your name is on the list of non-commenters, you must comment on this ride or a previous race, on this race or a previous race between race 5 and race 10 in order to keep your ride. The sign-ups will be coming out at some point next week for vacant rides in Trucks, Mobile, and Snickers. I will put out a video with the date and time so you'll be able to sign up for it. I will not just at the spur of the moment upload a video with the sign-ups. I will actually give you people a time and date of when it will happen. Anyway though, we're getting ready now. Pace car is going to peel off. These cars still have a little ways to go before we get the green flag though. Got to work their way through turn 11 and then a few hundred feet down the front straightaway, if you will. It's not really a straight straightaway. It's got a little bit of a left-hand turn to it. As here we go, Poti, George Roken. Oh no, they're going to do what they did in the Truck Series race. Jake Rogers got moved into the middle 3 wide, almost shades of what happened to Danny Wells in the Truck Series race, and they're going to start this race 3 wide. It's going to happen again. Oh my goodness. Well, good luck, Jake. Green flag is out. Dylan Poti gets us underway here at Infineon. If they can make it through this first turn without wrecking here, I'm going to eat my shoe. Oh my goodness, here they go. 3 wide. Carson comes into the grass, and they made it through. Where's my shoe? Oh, Dylan Poti lost the lead. Poti just really lost the lead, and oh man, George Roke lost it too. Tyson Broad now moves into the top spot. And the caution's out. Caution is waving for the first time today. That didn't take long, but I'm amazed how they were able to go 3 wide, 2 rows deep, and make it through that uphill turn. I believe that was turn 2, or maybe turn 1, but I'm not sure. Working their way through the S's, Tyson Broad. Oh, he overdrove that corner. George Roke to the inside. Contact between the 32 and the 33. But they're going to keep it together somehow. George Roke goes to the front now. Broad back into second. And Richard Johnson wants that spot heading into turn 11. Here he comes. Oh, he wants the lead too. Look at Richard Johnson. Big move. Big move out of turn 11. Side by side for the lead. Will it be a drag race at the line? It will. And I think it was Richard Johnson. I think it was by a splitter. Got that. Did he? Yes, he did. Richard Johnson by a splitter will lead here under caution at Infineon. What a great race that was. Too bad that wasn't the last lap. That would have been exciting. Oh, and Dylan Young, 3rd in points. He's the reason the caution is out. There's some other drivers back here. There's Mason Wood, James Silverfox, Charles Sanford. A couple drivers back in the top 10 in points. Trent Dunham is back here, but it doesn't look like he's damaged. Looks like the only driver that is really damaged out of any of these guys is Dylan Young, so that must be the reason the caution came out. Dylan Young, as we mentioned, 3rd in the points, only 13 points back from points leader Sean Galligan. Tough break for Dylan as he is involved here. He was the points leader last week, ran into trouble. And 2nd week in a row, he's going to find some problems there in that 30 car. So we're going to jump back, take a look and see what happened to Dylan Young in the 30. Trying to find the best camera angle for this. Dylan Young did not get himself a good qualifying position, so he was back in a hornet's nest here at the drop of the green flag. He's right in the middle right now between Aaron Williams Jr. and Wolfgang Mason. Oh, the caution flag had already been out. Oh, and this was an incident after the caution. Okay, so we're going to have to jump back and see what the caution actually did come out for. But the contact, I think, is going to come between Dylan Young and Wolfgang Mason. Yeah, he gets turned off the nose of Wolfgang, and oh, we've seen this before this week. Oh, man, hard into the wall, and Wolfgang gets a big chunk of the wall there, too. It's actually a tire barrier there. Someone else got into Wolfgang. Who was that? Was that Bob Jones? Yes, it was. And also in the plant, Bob Jones, though, comes in 10th in points, and he's got some damage now to the hefty Toyota. And did the caution come out for Trent Dunham? It might have. Let's jump back again and look at another replay. Oh, yeah, this was a long ways back. Contact there between James Qualls and Trent Dunham. Dunham comes down, makes contact with Danny Wells. Danny spins it out. He was able to save it, though. Trent Dunham was not so lucky, and that was actually the reason the caution came out. That was a long ways back, around not even halfway through this racetrack, really. And Trent does hit the wall just a tiny bit there with the right front. So tough start to this race for the Sega Chevrolet, but he gets away with really minimal damage. Same for Danny Wells, so could have been a lot worse for those two. Obviously, they didn't take the kind of hits that Wolfgang Mason and Dylan Young did. But obviously, we also know here at Infineon, you want to have track position, and that's something that both of those drivers, Danny Wells and Trent Dunham, are not going to have on this restart. Let's head back now to the restart and live action. Pace car gets ready to peel off. We'll be back to green flag racing on lap 4 of 17. Richard Johnson's the leader, George Roke second, Tyson Broad third, Jake Rogers fourth, fifth now Anthony McCurry, Dylan Poteet is in sixth, seventh Charles Jackson, Amelia Navarrete eighth, Stephen Pollard third is ninth, and James McLeod completes the top 10. Keep your eyes on that 88 of Anthony McCurry. His driver, Max Russell, went to victory lane in the Truck Series event here. I'm sure he gave a few tips to his protege, Anthony McCurry. Or his mentor, I should say. I guess Max Russell would be the protege. So here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Richard Johnson gets back to the way. Only one driver is out of the race after everything that went down. That is, of course, Dylan Young, who's going to take yet another hit in the point standings for the second week in a row. I don't know if this will drop him outside the top 10 in points, but it'll certainly move him down through the standings, depending how well their drivers behind him do. Richard Johnson continues to lead. Tyson Broad going to slip by George Roke for second. Roke has really messed up that turn twice now. So Tyson Broad moves by for second. Rogers into third, and the caution flag is out again. Curry now moves by Roke. That's for fourth. Charles Jackson now going to try and find a spot inside the top 5. He's going to race with George Roke for that position. And wow, they are 3 wide back here through the S's. With Dylan Poteet, Amelia Navarrete, Matthew Dowley, and Daniel Day. Big battle going on there, just inside the top 10. And look at Tyson Broad. Look at the run he's getting. Will he try and dive bomb Richard Johnson into turn 11? He is there. He is on the quarter panel. He's trying to get by. Can't quite do it this time. And Jake Rogers got a big run on him coming through that corner, too. Richard Johnson's going to hang on, survive at least one more caution lap. And oh, it looks like it was Isaac Canepa, making only his second start of the season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. And welcome to Infineon rookie. Oh, Eric Burton is on pit road as well. So the 12 and the 54, both involved in something here. Isaac Canepa, who had a great run last week with a 17th place run in his debut. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here this week. He's got some damage on the back of his I believe it's an Alliance trucking paint scheme. And Eric Burton also sits on pit roads. That's a tough break for both of those drivers. We gotta look back and see what happened to him as Richard Johnson continues to lead. A little shove there from Tyson Broad. Well, I think you can very easily chalk this up to a rookie mistake here at Infineon. Right there, you see Isaac Canepa. He's trying to get around the left side, then tries to get around the right side, and then he hooks a 54 car around, and there he goes. Eric Burton into the wall. Just clips Canepa. Canepa then's going to go, and he's going to whiplash into the wall as well. And Eric Burton, heavy front end damage. Black smoke pouring out. Pretty much fatal signs for the 54. And so, looks like Eric Burton may be joining Dylan Young back in the garage area. Dylan Young came in third in points. Eric Burton, not so lucky. He comes in 32nd in points. So a bad run like this was not what he needed to move himself up into the top 10 in points. And tough break there for the driver of the Monster Energy number 54 Toyota Camry, and he's just going to have to try and rebound next week, but that's the reason our caution came out. Let's head back now to green flag racing. We'll go back to green on lap 7 of 17. Here's the top 10. Richard Johnson, Tyson Broad, Jake Rogers, Anthony McCurry, George Roke, Charles Jackson, James McLeod, Stephen Pollard third, Dylan Poteet, the pole sitter, in ninth, and Amelia Navarrete completes the top 10. The rest of the top 20 are Matthew Dowley, Carson Gum, Daniel Day, Jeffrey Finguy, and Megan Atkins. That's top 15. Then it's Danica Shirley, Ralph Mason, points leader Sean Galligan, Seth Cole, and Adam Chambers. Seth Cole to be making his final start of the season here at Infineon, so he'd love to be able to go out with a bang. Replaced by elemental driver Alex May next week. I'll tell you one thing I've seen about these drivers, as opposed to the Truck Series drivers, these drivers are able to make a lot more passes in certain turns that the trucks were not able to do. The drivers able to dive bomb it into turn 11. They're able to make good passes in that hard left-hander heading into the S's. and they're able to make passes in the S's, and they are pretty single file here for the first 7 or so cars. But that doesn't stop the caution from coming out. Caution out again. Hey, what? They are having a terrible time trying to keep it green here. They put on some good racing. 3 wide racing in the S's, 3 wide racing off that first turn, keeping it together, but they just can't seem to be able to run the whole time under the green flag as Richard Johnson messed up that turn, and now we've got Tyson Broad all over his back bumper. Completely plastered to the back of his Texaco Haviland Ford, and here comes Tyson. Tyson Broad looking to the inside line for the lead. The young rookie out of Australia is going to clear him, I think. I think he cleared him. Richard's trying to battle back on the high side, and they'll come to the corner. Tyson Broad, for the first time today, is going to lead a lap. And I think, I may be wrong, but I think I saw the car in pit road, and I think it was second in points, Sky Commons. Nope, it wasn't. It was a yellowish car, a gold car. Oh, it was William Duncan. The Reese's Chevrolet is involved, and William Duncan came into this race 29th in points. So a bad season turns worse here at Infineon for the 21 driver. And if I recall, William Duncan was right up around that first incident with Dylan Young. I think I may be wrong, but he got through that one. Not so lucky this time. And a little bit of a tit for tat there. Tyson Broad gave Richard Johnson a shove in that corner last time around. Well, Richard Johnson going to return the favors. We'll head back now and see what happened to William Duncan. Now, this was right from the start of the green flag dropping, heading up the hill here. And Isaac Canepa, boy, he's in the turning mood today or something. He couldn't get into William Duncan now. And William Duncan's going to go hard into the wall. I mean, I can understand that it's a rookie, and he's making only his second start at a very tricky road course. But you turn 2 people back-to-back times, something's got to give there. If I were Isaac Canepa, I think on this next restart, I would just kind of hang at the back and not race these guys. But William Duncan pays the price here, gets turned into the tire barrier, and there's no way he's going to be able to continue with that car. The car was lodged in the tire barrier. They had to pull it out of the tire barrier. There you see him teleporting to pit road and having a rather unusual glitch there with his car flashing. It's interesting. But anyway, we get back to green flag racing now as we are past the halfway point. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Tyson Broad the leader, Richard Johnson second, Jake Rogers third, Anthony McCurry fourth, George Roken fifth, sixth is Charles Jackson, seventh James McLeod, eighth Stephen Pollard the third, ninth place Matthew Daly now with Daniel Day moving inside the top 10. Well, what do you think, guys? You think we can go under the green flag for a little bit here? I don't know. They've been close on numerous occasions here in these last few restarts to running it under the green flag. They just have not had that kind of luck. A lot of these incidents have been taking place near the back of the pack, too. So maybe if they can keep it together at the back of the pack, we will get some green flag laps in. Tyson Broad, only his 5th start. Green flag is out. He leads the way and got himself a really good jump, too. Opens up 2-3 car lengths on Richard Johnson. First time today we've seen the leader actually be able to get away quite a bit. Richard Johnson starting to close up that gap right away. He's closed up to about 2.5, now almost 2 car lengths. Tyson Broad continues to lead the way. Are we still green flag racing? I sure hope so. And Richard Johnson kind of messed up that corner. Got a little wide in that turn, and Jake Rogers going to try and take the advantage. And thank heavens to Betsy, we are still green. Jake Rogers going to take the second position away from Richard Johnson now. Anthony McCurry, George Roken, a good battle back there for 4th. Oh, and Jake, I thought he was going to mess up that turn. He messed it up too. Richard Johnson moves by for 2nd. Here comes Anthony McCurry. What a good run he's having, and he's trying to work his way down to the top 3. Looking to pass his good buddy Jake Rogers. How about James McLeod, our winner back from Coca-Cola? McLeod's having a great run today there in that 34 back in, well, it has him listed at 7th, but I think he's going to cross the line in 5th place now. Get some confirmation on that. Yes, he is. And look behind him. Stephen Pollard III, who does have some damage to the front end of his 55 Viva Camaro. I'm not exactly sure where that came from. But one thing about the road courses as opposed to speedways and restricted plate tracks, it doesn't really kill your aerodynamics. You don't need aerodynamics here on a road course. You just need to be able to work the accelerator, work the brake correctly, have a car that will at least turn and not slide through the corners. If you have damage, it really doesn't matter. We've seen drivers finish top 10 here at this track with hoods missing and everything. Steven having a great run right now there, that rookie driver. There's Matthew Daly. Moved himself into the top 10 on that last restart, now currently running in the 8th position. And we've talked about him a lot. He's had, I believe, now 3 career poles this season. He's just not been able to follow it up with good finishes, and didn't qualify nearly as well this race, and now is running really well inside the top 10. Got a battle line for the lead. Oh, McCurry! McCurry saved it, though. And I think the caution's out. Henley is on pit road. No, the caution is not out, but Sean Henley does sit on pit road, and McCurry, what a save right there. Getting turned off the nose of James McLeod. He only lost 3 positions because of that. He's about to maybe lose a 4th to Matthew Daly, but nice save there by the driver of the 88. But Sean Henley is on pit road, I believe. Oh, and so is Sky Commons, second in points. Trent Dunham, Mason Wood, Danny Wells, Charles Sanford 4th in points, and James Qualls. One driver we haven't talked about. Let's find out where the points leader's running. Where's Sean Galligan? Back here, currently running in the 23rd position. He's got Kellen Wise just ahead. James Silverfox just behind. And he's kind of just riding around there. Right now, though, I'll tell you what. Sky Commons on pit road. Dylan Young out of the race. Charles Silver at the back of the pack. Sean Gallagher, regardless of this, not poor run, but this conservative run, if you will, he could still be the points leader, provided he doesn't wreck here. And I probably just jinxed him. But back up here, there's Sky Commons and Sean Henley still on pit road. That's a tough break. Also, there's a slip back a bit here. Dylan Poteet running behind our Talladega race winner Emilio Navrat. He's back in 12th place as Poteet. Expected he was going to stay up at the front, but he didn't. Daniel Day, nice run for him inside the top 10 in 9th place right now. And Daniel Day comes into this race 23rd in points, and if I'm not mistaken, I may be incorrect in this, but I think Max Russell in our Truck Series race came into that event 23rd in the points. So there could be something to it, I don't know. Daniel Day, oh, Daniel clipped Matthew Daly, and he's going to spin it. Oh, rookie mistake there, overdriving the corner for the 66. And he's going to stall right there. I don't think he'll be able to drive away from that. He's caught there in the sand trap. Oh, and there goes Jordan Hester around. But he's going to save it. He's going to turn it back around. He's going to continue on. Are we still green? We are still green. Driver slipping, sliding off the racetrack, but we're still racing. Daniel Day is on pit road now. There's somebody else on pit road too. Who was it? Just in front of Daniel Day. Oh, that's Joshua Michaels in the 6. I don't know what happened to him, but he's on pit road. But they are not finding it enough to bring out a full course caution. And Tyson Broad, good grief, he's got a huge gap between himself and Jake Rogers right now. So he's got to be loving the fact that they're still green flag racing. In only his 5th start, Tyson Broad, the Australian, no doubt about it, probably if you thought of which kind of a track he'd be best at, road courses would probably definitely be up on the top of that list, and he's showing it off right now. Jake Rogers is in 2nd. Here's a good battle for 3rd. James McLeod going to slip by Richard Johnson for that position. So move Johnson back to 4th. Roke in 5th. McCurry 6th. Matthew Daly 7th. Battle on here for 8th. Charles Jackson looking to the inside line of Stephen Pollard 3rd with Dylan Poteet right behind in the 10th position. This time at the line, Stephen Pollard trying to hang on just outside the top 10. Looky here. Emilio Navrat and Danica Shirley has moved herself up into the 12th position, now hounding Emilio Navrat for that 11th spot. Ralph Mason Currently the highest running driver of the drivers that come into the top 5 in the point standings, in the 13th position, and not too far behind him. There he is, Sean Galligan, the points leader. Working his way up now to 21st, picked up 2 spots. Well, make it 3. Just moved by the Austin LaPlante machine who overdrove that corner. Galligan may be on the move right now, I don't know. That would be the time though, because we've got 3 to go when they hit the stripe. And Tyson Broad is hoping and praying they're going to keep this thing green, because right now, barring any mechanical failures or any mess-ups in the turns, Tyson Broad has got this thing. And the battle's going to be on for second right now. James McLeod has run down Jake Rogers. He's looking for more. McLeod's got himself one strong Turner Motorsports Chevy today. He's side-by-side with Jake Rogers. 2 laps to go as Tyson Broad has gotten the signal. Jake Rogers going to hold off James McLeod for second place at least this lap. But I don't think McLeod is done with Rogers. Richard Johnson, George Rope, Anthony McCurry, and Matthew Daly starting to close in on that second place battle as well. This is not the battle for the lead though, folks. There's the leader. Let's go on board with him. Take a look and see just how far ahead he is. It could be even a full second lead that Tyson Broad is enjoying right now. Running his way through the S. Get out of the wrong now. Let's see if he makes Tyson Broad. We may be seeing here today a Cinderella story come to light with Tyson Broad, as mentioned, in only his 5th start. He made his debut back at Thornton, which again was a road course. If I remember correctly, he qualified well, ran fairly well there. I think he did get involved in a wreck or something late in the event, but he ran pretty well. The white flag is out for rookie Tyson Broad. In the 32, can Tyson make it around one more time and capture his first career NNSCRA victory? That 32 team looking very stellar since Tyson Broad moved into that ride. And today it may pay off dividends. Tyson Broad, undoubtedly one of the dominant cars of the day. And he proved it on that final restart, pulling away from Richard Johnson, Jake Rogers and company through the S's. He's still got a huge lead between himself and Jake Rogers. Rogers now opened the gap between himself and McLeod. Richard Johnson's now moved into 4th with Anthony McCurry into 5th. Looks like that may be the top 5 finishing results, unless something happens to one of those drivers. But coming down into the final corner, turn 11, Tyson Broad, the rookie from Australia, in only his 5th career start in the Mobil1 Cup Series, is going to realize his dream. Coming down to the stripe, Tyson Broad captures his first career NNSCRA victory in only his 5th career start. He wins the Steam 250 at Infineon. And this is the moment these drivers live for. These rookies come into the series for this kind of a moment, and Tyson Broad has finally gotten it done. He will pick up his first career NNSCRA victory, his first of this season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Came in 44th in points due to only starting 5 races, including this one. But he has now clinched himself a spot into the All-Star race for the Mobil1 Cup Series. Great job there for Tyson Broad. Let's take a look at the official top 10 for today's event. Jake Rogers. Told you that he's been having a much better season than Season 5 was. He'll finish runner-up. James McLeod really picked up a lot of spots there on that last restart. He'll finish in 3rd. Richard Johnson, great run for him in 4th. And Anthony McCurry is going to finish today in the 5th position. George Roque, he'll get 6th. Matthew Daly in 7th. Stephen Pollard the 3rd and 8th. 9th place, the pole sitter Dylan Poteen and Charles Jackson will complete today's top 10. Ralph Mason finished in 13th. Sean Galligan, the points leader, finished in the 19th position. Sean Galligan will still remain the points leader heading into next week's race at... I don't know if I should tell you guys. I should probably wait till the Snickers Cup Series race because it's an exciting one. It's a different one. But anyway, into next week's race, race number 11. Tyson Broad with the win here today. Congratulations to him on that victory. And he pulls into what will be victory lane for the first time in his NNSCRA career. Well, folks, we're not done with Infineon. We still got another road course race to finish up here. The Snickers Cup Series event, the Toyota Save Mart 350. Hope you'll be tuning in for that event. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Helps me out a lot. Here comes your official finishing results. Overall point standings and rookie points, with Sean Galligan being the points leader heading in to next week's race. Once again, for those of you that are down on the list in the description for non-commenting, be sure you comment on this race or any previous races from race 6 on through to here, race number 10, or else you will be removed from your ride and a new driver will take your ride heading into next week's race, week 11. There will be a sign-up video, of course, as I said, for those that did not comment, for other drivers to be able to sign up for those rides. I will put out a video with the date and time. I'm going to be having it be the Trucks, Mobil, and Snickers Cup Series signups all in one video, so we have to have the Snickers Cup Series race run here before I will be giving you that video on the date and time of the replacement signups. So once again, folks, hope you enjoyed today's race, and we will see you next time here from Infineon as Tyson Broad takes the checkered flag here with Steam 250. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.